You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. It is official. The LSU-Kentucky game this weekend up there in Lexington is a sellout. So Kentucky announcing that. LSU will play in front of a packed house there at Kroger Field, formerly Commonwealth Stadium. But LSU and Kentucky is a sellout for this Saturday, 6:30 p.m. there in the Commonwealth. Also, SEC Nation is going to be there as well this Saturday for the LSU-Kentucky game. So a lot of festivities around the game, which is pretty cool to see, I guess. LSU only makes it up to Lexington once, every 2 decades or thereabouts. Tigers haven't been there since 2007. That was the triple overtime loss, but as we all very well remember, all too well remember. But nonetheless, it should be a great atmosphere there at Kentucky. I've always said Kentucky kind of reminds me of a mini Tiger Stadium. Like if you took what I mean is if you took the structure of Tiger Stadium and just shrunk it, like that's Commonwealth or Kroger Field. You got a bowl and then you got upper decks on either side. Now they've built into one end zone as well. I mean, it's basically structurally looks like Tiger Stadium. It just seats 70,000 instead of 102,000. But either way, Kentucky fans stormed the field last week. Big win over Florida. Do they have the emotional come down? I think that's certainly a storyline to watch this week. The other big storyline to watch this week is the LSU running game. It's something that we're going to talk a lot about. Ed Orgeron has said they want to establish the run. We've all talked about that a bunch for many obvious reasons why they need to establish the run and so far have not. Well, LSU did kind of get a little bit of a break. Mark Stoops has announced that senior nose tackle Marquan McCall will not play this week against LSU. Marquan McCall is listed at 6'3", 370. I mean, he is the big, giant mountain in the middle of that defense that just throws people around. And he's not going to play this week and might be out beyond this week. He was injured early in the game against Florida, returned to the sideline on crutches and a walking boot, and Mark Stoops has already ruled him out for the LSU game. That means Josiah Hayes and Justin Rogers will play nose tackle against LSU on Saturday. Rogers was a massive recruiting win for Kentucky. They don't typically get guys like that. Darian Kennard on the offensive side, a guy we talked to at SEC Media Days, top 100 overall player, high 4-star out of Ohio, had offers from everybody, chose Kentucky. And he told us candidly, they didn't lie to him in recruiting. They were very honest. He felt good about it. He wanted to go create his own thing at Kentucky. Did, and he's probably going to be a first-round draft pick. This is an interesting one with Rogers. He's a sophomore. He was the third highest-rated recruit in the 247 composite when he signed with Kentucky over Georgia, Ohio State, Bama. So big guy in the middle with McCall out. Hayes and Rogers are the two that they'll rely on. That's, I guess, a modicum of good news for Liam Shanahan, who has struggled physically. I mean, it's just we've talked about it a bit. We all know Liam has struggled. He's just physically not on par with some of these elite-level SEC interior linemen. But I'll never fault a kid for just being not as good as the guy across from him. Sometimes that happens. This isn't the NFL. If it's the NFL, you cut that player and go find someone who can play. This is college football. It's not that. So as long as someone's giving great effort, I'm okay with it. Like you take your W's and your L's, and try to get that guy some help this week if you can. So McCall will not be there for Kentucky. Remember, Kentucky's rush defense is allowing 104 rush yards a game. That number came up this week because they allowed 170 to Florida, but yet context matters. Florida came into that game averaging over 300 yards rushing per game, and Kentucky held them more than 130 under their rushing yards average. So really a very, very strong performance for Kentucky's rush defense against Florida, allowing just 13 points and 170 rush yards in that ballgame. Ed Orgeron did talk about Kentucky's defense and what LSU is going to face this weekend.
Well, defense, they're very stout with a 3-4. They play great technique. Had an outstanding game against Florida. Only 16 points allowed per game, 104 yards rushing, very stout. Got some tremendous players on that team.
The other side of the ball, of course, Kentucky offensively, they have a noted rushing attack, and they've got Will Levis, the Penn State transfer quarterback. Here was Ed Orgeron talking about Kentucky's offense.
On offense, they're pro style, 29 points per game. They have the leading rusher. They have the leading receiver in the SEC. They have a great run game. Chris Rodriguez, an outstanding runner. Wendell Robinson is very dangerous. Levi is a very capable passer that operates very well in their offense.
Chris Rodriguez, who he mentioned, 104 rushes for 612 yards already, leads the SEC. Wandale Robinson, through 5 games, 29 receptions, 467 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's a Nebraska transfer. They've got skill guys. Kavasier Smoke is a nice 1-2 punch there, running back. They've got skill guys offensively at Kentucky that LSU's going to have to tangle with. Tigers going to have to find a way to score. They're going to have to be more balanced than they've been. That is fairly obvious, but little thumbnail on this LSU-Kentucky game. But it is a sellout up there in Lexington, and the Cats will be without their biggest, literally their biggest defensive player with Marquan McCall out for this week against the Tigers. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.